Right, so something a bit different here for a change on my CDB TV channel, and rather than showcase another classic dirt bike, this time we're going to take a look at a bunch of guys who've certainly brought a lot of fun and laughter to the world of motorcycling for almost 30 years. So in this clip here we're going to take a look at the fantastic Purple Helmets motorcycle display team. Now, it's said that these guys all came together around 1995, and most of them did come from their hometown of the Isle of Man, and they did originally do most of their performances at the famous TT motorcycle event before then moving further afield onto the UK mainland and beyond. But these guys have certainly done it all. They have toured the country, they've made countless videos and TV appearances, and even at one time performed in front of royalty as well. But as I'm led to believe, they've now hung up their brown overcoats, sunglasses, and parked up their beloved Honda C90s as well, because I think they did their last display back in August of 2022, because mainly many of the team now are getting on in their years, and I think sadly they've even lost a few of the original troops. So the guys then decided to just put their purple helmets away and then retire to a much simpler life. And so in this video clip here, we're going to take a look at some of their motorcycling skills and, of course, their antics as well. And these pictures and video clips that you're looking at were some of the footage I shot while they were at the Saturday evening's entertainment while they were performing at the 2012 Nostalgia Scramble near Kendal in that year. But it's quite well documented that the helmets never ever received any kind of payment for their displays, and I think their usual fee was just a crate or two of the finest beer you could muster, and I expect that the guys did go through their fair share of the amber nectar. Now, I expect that these guys will have certain names for their various stunts, and I think this one will be about how many riders you can actually fit onto a Honda C90, which in this case it looks like it's 6, and I'm pretty sure it was the case that the rider that was holding on to the bars at the front of the bike, it controlled the direction and the speed, and the rider that was at the back had to shift the gears. But don't ask me why they configured the bike in that way, but I expect it was just to be so it would add a little bit more fun and probably get a few more laughs into the bargain as well. But it's all great fun to watch, and certainly the crowds loved it, as you can see. So I expect that this next clip here, I think, might be called the Honda C90 some, with one of the guys there blowing some kind of trumpet or bugle on the back there. But of course, despite all of their mucking around and the fun, there was still a certain amount of skill involved in these boys' displays as well, including, of course, this wheelie bin drag racing, which is a quite highly technical procedure of one of the troop sitting inside a wheelie bin being dragged along by one of their C90 stunt bikes. But again, you can see the balance and the skill it takes to kneel down inside a garbage bin with your arms extended, and who knows, maybe one day this will become another racing class at a motorcycle racing circuit near you. Anyhow, moving swiftly along. Now, I expect that this next stunt here is some kind of tribute to the great White Helmets motorcycle display team, but of course with these being the bonkers Purple Helmets team, these guys tend to put a bit of a twist on the White Helmets original display. So basically what we've got is 3 Honda C90s, and the guys have to try and arrange themselves pyramid style on those 3 bikes, which, as you can see, they're performing with the utmost precision and skill. But of course, and as in all good performances, that was really just a practice run, so the guys are now going to try and get their act together this time to try and let you see how it's really done when everything clicks into place and goes without a hitch. But quite hard work for those little 3 Honda C90 4-stroke machines to support the entire troop on those 3 bikes. But there you have it, a perfect motorcycle pyramid with 8 purple helmets on the top of 3 Honda C90s. Absolute perfection at its very best. So this next one is a bit of a take on a stunt that was performed a few years ago by the great Evel Knievel when he jumped his big heavy Harley Davidson over those London buses. But the helmets, of course, aren't going to copy Evel's jump and use a big heavy Harley Davidson, because they're going to use another one of their C90 Hondas, and they're going to use humans as a substitute for those big red buses. But that's, of course, if they can ever sort themselves out, because nobody, of course, wants to be the last man at the end of this road, just in case anything goes wrong. Right, a quick measure up to make sure our calculations are spot on, and we're almost good to go. Right, so here comes our jumper on his souped up Honda C90, but he's decided not to do it this first time around. But it does look like that bike has some kind of mechanical issues, so he might even pull out of this highly dangerous situation again. But it looks like he's going for it this time, so top gear, over the ramp, and success. But another extremely dangerous stunt here, again by the helmets, and I've absolutely no clue as to what this one's actually called. Maybe it's something like the helmet leap of faith, or something along those lines. But another classy stunt performed by the skills of the purple helmets. But this was certainly one of my favourite helmet clips of that night, and again in true helmet style there, with the beer cans bouncing off the back of the bike. So we're going to try and do an over and under here, slam that front brake on, and oh yes, superb. I bet you thought you could never perform something like that on a Honda C90. Let's have a look now and see if he's going to do another one going down the hill. But this grass is very slippy here, so slam that front brake on again. Well, maybe not this time round. But when you take a look at this slow-mo here, absolute poetry in motion from the helmets. But soon after he got uprighted and had another couple of practice runs and a few more beers, he was just about to get ready to attempt the double roll over. So this is going to be absolutely brilliant if he can pull this off. So we're coming down the hill and we're going to try for the double this time. So top gear, front brake slammed on, over once, over twice. Is he going to do it? Oh, fantastic. But absolutely brilliant stuff, and well done to that particular member of the purple Helmets motorcycle display team. A fantastic stunt on one of those little Honda C90s. Now, if you've still got the kids around you watching this video, then you might want to make them look away for the next couple of minutes, because this big organ player appears to have forgotten to put his drawers on and his tuxedo to play his big organ. But what fair play to that little Honda C90 motor there for pulling an organ in two big riders around that slippery grass surface. And actually, I did wonder why these guys went away into that big hole at the bottom of the track, because I have to tell you, it's some weight for that little motor to pull up the hill when it's still got those road tyres on the front and the back, because I don't think that little Honda C90 is going to manage to pull that up the hill. Looks like that passenger's going to have to get off and shove this outfit up the hill. But he's certainly having a go, but it's going absolutely nowhere. He's just telling him, right, you'll have to get off and give me a shove up the hill. But absolutely fantastic stuff, though, from the purple helmets. Here's the rest of the troop coming in to get them back on track. Although I must admit, these guys, the purple helmets, were absolutely fantastic entertainment on the Saturday night prior to, of course, the scramble on the Sunday. And as you can see, the campers absolutely loved their antics, and even some of the skills involved in their motorcycle display. Now, I think this was another take on one of their earlier pyramid stunts, but this time including all of the helmets together on 5 Honda C90s as they attempted their super pyramid with a bit of a twist, where they tried to keep the pyramid together while another helmet member, pardon the pun, rides a little mini bike through the centre. So that includes, of course, all 10 members of the troop taking part in this performance, which again, as you can see, was executed with laser-like precision, which only the purple helmets could achieve. Now, as far as I can remember, when these guys first all came together, it was one of the troop who asked the question about what they were actually going to call themselves, and it was one of the other members that made the suggestion that they were going to be just like the professional White Helmets motorcycle display team, when another member came back with the snipey reply, more like the bloody Purple Helmets, which of course is exactly the very name that these guys adopted. So this next stunt here was another one that they performed on the Saturday night, using all of the Honda C90s, and that passenger there on the back on the right hand side is going to try and attempt to walk across the back of every single bike in the troop without falling on his backside, as you can see. And as you can see, almost is more or less managed it without falling on his backside. But again, some more super skills from the multi-talented Purple Helmets display team. But of course, this is just a very short sample of some of the stunts and the skills that these guys performed in the last 30 or so years. But just to finish off here now, just as a bit of a reward for all their hard work and entertaining the crowds on that night, the organisers let the guys have a Honda C90 race around the Scrambles track on the Saturday night. So if you didn't think that you could race a Honda C90 with road tyres on it, then just take a look at these crazy guys. And even the guy on the six-seater Honda C90 managed to get round the Scramble's track. It must have been a bit of a task for him because, as I said earlier, the gear shifter for that particular outfit is at the back of the bike. But as you can see, these guys certainly making a race of it as they cross the finish line. But of course, as all professional motocrossers know, it's thirsty work riding these bikes, so you have to stop for a beer or two before you get going again. But there's Mr. Piano Player there. Fortunately, this time he's covered up. But without doubt, these guys will certainly be missed at motorcycle events because they were absolutely fantastic entertainment on these Honda C90. So there you have it. Or there you don't have it. The fantastic and utterly mental purple helmets.